Hey people, welcome to What Matters a Long Time Ago. Today we will be discussing a topic that has benefited us through and through.
The Industrial Revolution.
The Industrial Revolution is the United States of America was immensely victorious in allowing our nation to become an international power. However, behind the success of this economic transformation, there was an odyssey of pain to abide for the workers of factories, mills, etc. There were really atrocious working conditions during the Industrial Revolution era, all caused by the greed of the multimillionaires who owned the operations of the factories and did not care about the people who worked for them, therefore caused extremely poor working conditions. A place where these were very common were the Lowell factory mills.
The Lowell factory mills were basically lines and lines of power looms which were constantly spinning out cotton cloth at the expense of the hazard of the operators. The operators were just females, primarily girls and women aged from 10 to 50 years of age. There was a minuscule amount of ventilation as there were no windows in the mills, just panes to allow light in. This caused unhealthy breathing for the factory workers and spread around bacteria easily. Moreover, the power looms were really dangerous because this consisted of gears and machinery that once they were sped up, if any of your body parts finger, hair, ended up locked inside of the machine, they would literally be ripped off of your body. During the winter, the floors would become wet, dirty, slushy, and slippery from all of the snow, and this caused problems because the workers could slip and fall onto the ground. Since the gear and the machineries were running at such high rates, the resulting noise was also deafening for most of the factory girls.
The workers at the factory mostly contained girls. They made about 90% of the mills. Despite them being the majority, the hierarchy of power was favoring the men. This is because they are the ones who ran the factories. The poor ventilation and germs spreading around caused many to have heart failures and other problems in the body. The little girls also had what was referred to as the cough. As a result, there were numerous resulting casualties in the mills. In the end of 1850, there were many Irish girls who had come to the United States because of the Irish potato famine and they needed jobs. They turned to the factories. Many came for curtailed pay. They took lower pay than most of the workers. When they joined the workforce, there was much disease spread. They had brought new bacteria and had spread a kind of fever. This was given to many of the girls they had interacted with.
There were many deaths in what was called the acre, the area set aside in Lowell for the Irish to live in. Since the acre was so small and there were so many living in one place, they were squeezed together, causing low hygiene. This again caused numerous deaths and body complications for the Irish girls.
The problem with most of the workers was that they were willing to work as long as they received the pay. The people that were to work at the rate of $8 to $10 previously were suddenly supposed to work at the rate of 10 cents an hour due to extreme pay decreases and the greed of the factory owners.
This led to the increase of lower class of people. The working conditions themselves were becoming harsher as well. Many of the children that worked at the factories began to have physical deformities. This was due to a lack of sunlight, exercise, and mostly fresh air. This caused them to have bronchitis, which in the mills was known as the cough.
This caused the death of many of the women that would work in the weaving room. This caused many of the workers to leave and also die. This unhealthy style of the working conditions themselves had caused many of the working force to rebel against the multimillionaires. There were rebellions that had been made by factory girls that had wanted to get better work conditions in the Lowell mills. Today we have a guest to talk about a similar topic. Liddy Worthen.
My name is Liddy Worthen. I am thankful to these kind men for having me speak on this podcast about the substantial truth of Lowell's textile mills and about women's education.
So how were the working conditions in Lowell factories?
Well, the working conditions were very similar to the ones you described. The machines were loud and it was scorching hot. And there were only window panes, so there was no air circulation. Once an Irish girl's hair got pulled into the loom and it got very messy.
Did you end up getting any injuries?
Yes, it was because of a flying shuttle. There are these objects called shuttles that hold the string, and we had to reload the shuttle every 5 minutes, and if you didn't put the shuttle back correctly, it would fly out. So once I had been distracted and had accidentally put the shuttle in the wrong way and it flew away.